Okay, let me get myself right. Okay, perfect. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. To me it feels like it's been forever, but I am here, so thank you for logging on and watching me. Promise this is going to be worth your while because I want to talk about emotions today. Yeah, where that come from, right? But I love this channel because Journey with JoJo, like I told you guys, it's just me here just recording my journey, telling you guys what I learned and so on and so forth. So I would not necessarily call this an advice channel, but honestly I'm just here to give tips and lessons, like I said, to just help you guys maybe figure out what you're going through, because maybe you going through something and you don't know what exactly it is, so you don't know how to deal with the situation. And I could come up here and tell you, oh, I'm struggling with this today, and it could help you figure out if you're struggling with the same thing. So today I decided to talk about emotions because I feel like I have been learning so much, and of course learning the hard way on how to deal with emotions, because I mean it's really not easy. To say you're mature, I feel like it comes with so much with just so much gravity that I feel like a lot of people don't grasp. We like to say we're mature because of our age, because of our accomplishments, but honestly deep down the core of maturity really just lies with character and our attitude towards ourselves and other people and God, of course. So I have been learning a lot of lessons concerning emotions, because sometimes I feel like you think you got it all, you think you're so spiritual that you would be exempt from certain feelings, but then reality hits and you're reminded that you're human and you go through stuff. So if you're like me and you're spiritual and you just think that, oh, there's nothing that would ever make you lose your cool, I feel like you should just take a breather, because situations and stuff, they are going to come up and they will test you. And if you you would not just be ready for some situations. You don't pre-think how you would react, so you just react and then you're left you're left feeling however, maybe bad, maybe regretful, maybe you did not handle the situation as well as you should have. So I mean, I'm just here with tips on really just how to help handle emotions. I'm still learning myself. Like I said, it is not easy, but I hope these tips would help somebody. They seem to be working for me. So let's start. So number one, honestly, one of the ways to deal with emotions, and when I speak of emotions, I mean the negative ones. I know anger is not always negative, because some angers are good, but the over the top anger is a no-no. But really, when I'm emotions in this particular context, I'm actually talking about the negative ones that negatively affect you and other people, your relationship and things like that. So one way I think people should deal with emotional issues, first off, is to pray about it. I mean, I know it's like, oh, she's going to tell us the same thing. Just pray with the word of God and everything is going to be okay. But no, I say pray about it first because honestly, God can oftentimes give us peace. And the Bible does tell us that if we pray and not waver, that God would answer our prayers. So there's certain ways that you feel you don't know the answers, you feel so frustrated, you feel like you're being backed up to a wall, and you feel like you have nowhere to go, before you lash out, pray. Take a breath and pray, because really prayer does help. Prayer really works. So pray. I know sometimes we just act out and we don't even think about it, less to talk of praying about it. But I feel like most of the time, don't wait till things happen before you pray. Like, if you feel like if you anticipate a situation that could really, make you step out your Christian zone and things like that, I feel like you should pray, ask God to give you strength and grace not to act out of character. So it is important to pray, because you just never know. God could give you a direction that would be the totally opposite solution for what the problem is. So instead of just acting out and just being angry and things like that, God could actually give you wisdom to deal with the situation without losing yourself. So the second point is, please try your best not to act out of character. I feel like I know some good people, like the best people. Excuse that break. But I'm back again. Okay. Check. Action. Yeah, so as I was saying, please do not act out of character. I know, that some of us are very nice until we're very holy, until we're very Christian, until... So I think we definitely need to watch out for that. If you are going through certain issues with people, or it could be friends, family, even strangers, don't act out of character. I know a lot of us want to blame certain situations and people for making us act different, but really at the end of the day, you are 100% responsible for every action or response that you bring. Nobody is going to blame that other person for making you cuss, say a bad word, and things like that, or even lose control of yourself and try to get physical. Do not act out of character. If you know that deep down, somewhere deep down inside of you, you're a sweet person, you're a nice person, and things come up your way, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't take your Jesus shirt off. Don't be yourself. Honestly, I feel like handle the situation as you would. Honestly. Like, don't try to fight. You know you're better than that. Don't try to... I don't know. I feel like it's just so many things I could tell you not to do. But really, you know yourself. So you don't need to act out tough to scare people off, because really, if that is not you, then you're actually acting out of character. That means you're pushing your true self aside just to deal with a situation that, honestly, if it were to be permanent, would make you change permanently. So really, don't let situations change you. I know it is so, it sounds a little unrealistic, but I have a good analogy for this. So there's this motivational speaker. It's been a while since I watched the video, so I completely forget his name. He gave an analogy and said there was this little girl boiling an egg, and the egg got harder. It got boiled, right? And then there was this other little girl boiling coffee, and then the water got dark. So what he's saying is, don't let hard and outer situations make you this rock. You were once a sweet person, but now you've become so embittered that nobody even recognizes you. You've allowed certain situations to change your true, beautiful, and pure nature. And as opposed to the coffee that was boiling that turned the water black. He said that really means people who get, afflicted by life and different situations, instead of allowing the situation to change them, they change the situation. And I feel like that is what we need to do. Running away from drama or becoming a hateful person because of somebody or something, I know your reason sounds so good, but guess what? You hate what you become. And honestly, that would lead to you becoming what you hate. So really, you hate that other girl who's so bitter and things like that, and stuff happens to you, and now you're that girl who is bitter. So do not act out of character, because you could scar yourself for life, really. So my other tip on dealing with emotions is get a standard. Wow, get a standard? What you talking what? Okay, get a standard, meaning a lot of us actually have standards for people. We just never have standards for ourselves. Well, I thought having standards for how other people should treat you and stuff is actually having standards for yourself. No, a lot of us have standards for other people, meaning this: we tell people how not to treat us. We encourage certain people into our lives, and others we push away because they don't fit the standard, but we never apply it to ourselves. Now, if you do not encourage people who yell at you and are rude to you, why do you do that to other people? I just don't get it. We push people away for treating us exactly how we treat other people. So, really, do you have a standard for how you treat certain situations? Or do you just do what you feel like because it is you who nobody can cross, but you can cross people? So honestly, you need to get a standard. I feel like that would actually help us rein in certain emotions where, we treat other. Find myself questioning myself later on, because I question myself and ask myself things like, could you not have done it better? Could you not have responded in a better way? And things like that. And honestly, questioning myself after feeling so disappointed in myself helps me for the next time, because now I know that I remember that I felt so bad for responding in a certain way, and I questioned myself, and then I found a way to deal with my response, and now I'm faced with the same situation. So because I questioned myself the last time, I know how to act better, and I don't kick myself at the end. So you have to question yourself, evaluate your responses. Sometimes we say things in the heat of the moment. We think we're so right. We think we're on point. But we actually cause more damage. We actually end up hurting the other person more than, we anticipate and stuff. But it was in the moment. So after that, honestly, you go back, you question yourself. That could actually help mend a relationship, because after you question yourself and you acknowledge the things that you have done that is not right, you would actually possibly call people back to apologize and things like that. I do it with my husband most of the time. Well, most of the time, sometimes, most of the time. I do it with him. If I feel like I've stepped out of bounds, it can be a hard thing to do, but because I feel so disappointed in myself, I just have this dreadful feeling of disappointment, because I've acted in a way that really isn't me, but I should not have gone that far. Listen, I cannot turn back the hands of time and go rectify it or say it better, but I actually take the time to apologize and tell him and let him know that I know what I did and I know it wasn't right, but here's my apology. I stepped out of line. And trust me, things are way better, because, I'm pretty sure sometimes, he can be surprised by my apologies, because I feel like when people are heated, they just say anything, the other person is left feeling so hurt and cannot come back to tell you apologize to me, and when you do, it kind of surprises them. So I feel like don't wait till you completely lose yourself to the point where you just act out and you don't question yourself, you don't care. In fact, you stop caring, you stop ignoring the guilt, you stop ignoring the self-disappointment and the dread, and you just keep going and going, and you just become the most bitter, blunt, and most negative person. Okay, you got to watch out for that. So question yourself, ask yourself, did I do right? Did I sound right? Was the tone of my voice acceptable, and things like that. And when you evaluate yourself in the peace and calm, then you can move forward next. And finally, be accountable. Oh my gosh, honestly, I feel like we would save ourselves a lot of internal conflict if we were accountable to somebody. That's where prayer comes in. You know, we started with prayer and end with prayer as well. Sometimes, I act out in a certain way, and I tell you, I can be so embarrassed to revisit the situation to try to make it better. And I just pray to God. I just ask him for forgiveness. I just ask him for the wisdom to do better next time. I just ask him for the grace to go back and correct the issue. And it really helps. But then again, you have to be accountable to your friend, to your spouse, because these emotions, honestly, if you don't keep them in check, they could control you. I know a lot of people say, oh no, I was just saying how I feel, or I felt hurt, so I just said things. Most people who are hurt actually say the most hurtful things to other people. So yes, the whole hurt people thing goes on. But when you're accountable to somebody, I don't know, it could help you be at peace with yourself. Don't just be accountable to people who would cheer you on, tell you to do what's wrong, and tell you, oh, you're completely fine for feeling this way. Do this, do that, show exactly how you feel, act out like a 2-year-old. That's not enough. You want to go to people who would actually hold you responsible for your actions. There are people who don't accept blame. See, like my dad, I will be explaining stuff to him and just blame everybody else, and he helps me look at myself, and I'm like, wow, so this was my fault. I'm the one who spiraled out of control, so people just reacted to me. So you want to find people like that. You want to find people who will tell you, listen, my dear, you are wrong. No matter how right you think you were, you were not thinking straight. You let your feelings override your judgment, so on and so forth. Trust me, you'll be a much better person. You will mature quicker. But most importantly, you would mature and genuinely. Maturity is not a one-day thing. You mature today and you immature tomorrow, stuff like that. No, maturity is maturity. Let's stay away from childish ways when it comes to dealing with certain emotions, and that's it. So I hope this video helps somebody. I do have a lot of things to crop. My little baby, she's coming back, so I just want to round this up real quick. So I just want to thank you guys for taking your time to come on here. I was just giving tips on, processing and dealing with emotions and, certain feelings and stuff. So I really hope it helps, because like I said, I am personally not there yet. I have not arrived yet, but I sure do hope that I get there someday, because sometimes your emotions get the best of you and you don't act yourself, and and it hurts other people and it hurts you the most. So I just hope that y'all will take these points, praying, being accountable, questioning yourself, and a lot more others. And I just pray that you guys would take it to heart, so that when situations come up, you will deal with them in a much better way, instead of just in a flat out reflexive way. So I just want to thank you guys for coming on today. Please be sure to subscribe, like, leave comments, suggest topics, and so on and so forth. I am here for that, okay? So thank you guys. God bless and take care. Ciao. You know, like when you have a new camera and you're trying to turn it off and you can't?